Hello guys, welcome to Dad in the Dawn. Now that we've reached the quarterfinal stage of the 2024 Cazoo Snooker World Championship in what has been a tournament of shocks and upsets so far, we're going to take this opportunity to reflect on how each of the competitors made it to this stage and try to bring you our predicted semi-final lineups. If you do enjoy the video, please remember to like, subscribe and leave a comment. We really appreciate all the help and support we get, and we will reply to each and every one of you. So now that's out of the way, we're going to begin by looking at the top half of the draw, which has been blown wide open, largely due to the fact that defending champion Luca Bracel crashed out in the first round, which has now opened up this portion of the draw, and we now have two qualifiers playing each other for a place in the semi-finals. So Dave Gilbert probably should have lost in the opening round to Luca Bracel, but Luca Bracel can only have himself to blame in that one, had it well in control. But in fairness, Dave did take the chances that were made available to him and did show some bottle to win those remaining frames and take his place in the second round, where he dispatched of Rob Milkins with no problem at all, 13-4. And Maguire had two tough opponents, really. He wasn't expected to beat either of them. He's beat Ali Carter 10-7 and Murphy 13-9, which is no mean feat in itself. I think the only thing that's ever held Maguire back in the past has been his temperament, and although it is still there, I think he has controlled it better than he has in recent years. As much as I'd like Gilbert to win this one, I do think there is something about the way Maguire is playing. He's not doing anything flash, but he's digging in, he lingers in frames, he's hard to get rid of, and he will do the business here and take a very close game, may even go down to a deciding frame, but he will be semi-finalist number one. Completing the top half of the draw, we have Kyron Wilson versus John Higgins, and Kyron Wilson has not really been tested so far in this tournament, absolutely annihilating Dominic Dale 10-1 and making light work of Joe O'Connor in the next round. Higgins, on the other hand, he has come through some tough games, used a lot of energy grinding out these wins, and I just wonder how much that's taken out of him and how much more he's got left. The further he goes in this tournament, the harder it's going to be to maintain that level. He hasn't been playing amazing, as I said, he hasn't been scoring monstrous breaks, and I feel Kyron Wilson is the type of player that can grind him down but also punish his mistakes, and I think Wilson takes this game fairly comfortably, maybe 13-10, 13-9, and he will be semi-finalist number 2, where he will face Stephen Maguire. And just for the record, I expect Kyron Wilson to win that game, if that is the lineup, and become our first finalist. Moving on to the bottom half of the draw now, and this is absolutely stacked. This is probably where the winner of the whole thing is going to come from. You've got Trump and Ronnie on a collision course, and I've got to say that I can't really argue with that at the moment. Looking at Judd, he hasn't got out of second gear so far, easily winning his first and second round matches, never looked in danger in either of those games. Against Jack Jones, who, to be fair, has gone under the radar, probably deserves a lot more credit than he's been given. Beating Zhang, who was my dark horse for the tournament, in round 1, and beating last year's semi-finalist in round 2. So if he'd had a slightly better draw, maybe he would have had a chance to progress here, but I do feel this is going to be one step too far for him, and Judd will win quite comfortably. I'm going to say 13-6 or 13-7 and become semi-finalist number 3. And rounding off the bottom half of the draw, we see Stuart Bingham versus Ronnie O'Sullivan, and I'm really glad that Stuart Bingham made it through, because I think if Lazowski had made it through, it would have been an easy day at the office for Ronnie. Lazowski was, well, being a bit of a baby at times, smacking the balls around when it wasn't going his way. If you do that against O'Sullivan, you will get embarrassed, which we've seen in the past. Ronnie himself has had some temperament issues this tournament, not with the opponent, but more with the way he's playing. But for me, there was no real need for him to get moody. He was well in control of that game. He's been playing the game for so long now. He could have worked out what the problem was, fixed it, and dealt with it in the next round. But Ronnie is Ronnie. We know what this behaviour is like. But Bingham is the type of player that will jump on that, and he will make Ronnie earn every single frame that he wins. But having said that, I do think Ronnie will be too strong for him. Ronnie will fix up, especially after the irritable performance against Ryan Day. he'll be too strong for Bingham and he'll win this 13-9, 13-10 and become semi-finalist number 4. So that would bring us the dream semi-final of Judd Trump versus Ronnie O'Sullivan, where I actually think Judd will win this quite comfortably. Might be controversial to say that, but I think he will win. If Ronnie O'Sullivan plays anywhere near like he did against Ryan Day, Judd Trump will punish those mistakes. When Ronnie gets disinterested, he throws it in, and that's what I'm expecting to happen here. Judd, as well, as a side note, he's won 4 or 5 ranking events this year. None of them he's faced O'Sullivan in, and he does get a bit of a chip on his shoulder when people mention that to him. So I think he's determined to knock O'Sullivan out of a tournament on the way to winning his 2nd World Championship. So that's how I think the quarterfinals will play out. Please let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree with anything I've said there. I'd really love to hear your take on that. Thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next video.